Whether it's your first time out to your drag strip or you've made hundreds of passes, there's a lot of things to think about to bring with you so that way you can fix problems and take care of things as they arise. Let's talk about 5 things that I like to bring to make sure that I have a good track experience. Let's go. When it comes to working on the car at the track, you know your car better than anyone because you either built it or you're very interested in running with it. So, for example, my small block Chevrolet El Camino, I can do a lot with a basic set of hand tools. And that's probably the best thing to bring so that you can tighten things that get loose. I mean, most of the time we're playing with older cars or cars that we built. Sometimes things get loose and you need to get it tightened up. So, here is what I bring. It is a little bit more than your basic set of hand tools, but that's okay. I tend to pack heavy because I tend to like to help people around me with interesting tools. I've got drills and drill bits. I've got my basic socket set. I've got my 3/4 inch deep stuff in the bottom. I've got everything I need and then some. I've got a huge packet of zip ties. Those are always handy for taking care of wiring, hoses, everything under the sun like that. So think about the things that you need, and most of the time, a basic set of hand tools will probably get the job done. I'm going to be putting links in the description to some of the things I'd recommend bringing along with you. So tire pressure is one of those critical things you want to keep track of. As long as your rear tire pressure or drive tire for the front wheel drive guys, you got to have a consistent tire pressure that's even side to side, keeps the car going straight, and helps keep you consistent. So here's a couple of options. You've got the old air tank. You all know what those are, and if you've got space for it and that's what you've got, that's totally fine. Use what you've got, and you can always keep an eye toward upgrading later. Now, something that I've just stepped into are the small tire inflators. This is my little skill. It's able to move tire pressure the couple of pounds I need it up and down pretty quickly and consistently. It does the same thing every time. I tell it to go to 16 pounds. It puts it at about 15.5 pounds on my pressure gauge, so I'm able to accurately get to the pressure I need so that way I can air down to the right pressure. Now, there's one more thing on the tire pressure front. You gotta have a good gauge. 1 second. This is my intercomp pressure gauge. This one is a little bit more expensive than most, but still, a good tire pressure gauge is going to be your best friend when it comes to getting your tires set consistently and correctly. You're going to find that as you go on, you may need to adjust tire pressure for varying weather conditions, track temperature, various things. This is a 0 to 30 gauge. I run my stuff at 14 pounds in the slicks under the back of my El Camino. You may find that you may need different things, but I like this intercomp because it's got a big dial, it's very easy to read, and the faces even glow in the dark. That's nice at night. You can hold it up in the lights and pull it back down. You're able to read it. Very important. Next thing I like to think about, jump packs. These guys have gotten so much smaller, so much more compact, so much easier to use, that having one of these on hand is cheap insurance to make sure that you're able to make it to the next round. Now, here's the one that I've been playing with most recently. This one is a combination jump pack and tire inflator. This makes it easy to adjust my tires in the lanes, anywhere I need to. It's working pretty okay. Now, the word of warning is sometimes the combination pieces don't have the same capacity to deliver high amperage stuff. I tried to jump a Datsun Z car that had a small block Chevy and a B&M 144 mini blower on it. Didn't quite have enough oomph to get it to actually start. But we did get it to turn over, and something like this could be very nice. Plus, it also has lights on the ends. That way, if you need to inflate your tires in the staging lanes when it's dark or in the pits, you never know. These things are nice to have, whether you're getting the Top Don piece or the Adore Trip. They're both nice to have and totally worth having around, so that way you'll be able to make it to the next round in the event you're having trouble with electric fans, who knows what. Plus, when you help your competitor, that just shows good sportsmanship. I've done that. It's a great thing to do. Now, the next things that I have to have when I go racing, this is me personally because I'm a data nerd, my weather station. This is a little bit older Kestrel 4250. This is the one specific to drag racing. It doesn't do the predictions. There are some out there that do. There's a whole bunch like the Race Air Pros, the CompuLinks, the Dr. Dial-In weather app on your phone even does that. There's trailer-mounted weather stations. There's portable ones. This fits what I needed to do, and this is the weather station that I use to look at the weather, to see what's going on. This is how I predict my ET. This is how I know what's going on, so that way I can adjust my car accordingly. Thing that goes with it? Yep, data nerd. Remember that. My data log. This has got my time slips, everything I've done, historical weather data, all my run information, so that way I can quickly and easily look back and say, okay, do I see any trends? What's the car been doing? What has it been doing under certain weather conditions? Now, unfortunately, I haven't been doing a lot of racing in the last 2 years, so my historical data is kind of low. But the thing is that when you get into a car and you're running it competitively, you're going to start to collect a lot of data, and you'll be able to see what the car does in certain weather situations and what weather, specifically, temperature, humidity, barometric pressure, density, altitude, whatever you feel, whatever you start to see makes a difference. Those are the things you really watch. Now, the last thing you have to bring is something that you cannot buy. This is something that you have to work on in here. That's keeping your mindset in the right place, so that way you're able to go rounds, that way you're able to be in the right space to be able to be competitive. Now, what that means is that if you've got negative thoughts, if you've got worries and doubts, those things will affect your on-track performance. You know, as much as affirmations may sound like woo-woo stuff, trust me, there is something to it because it gets your mind in the right place. I'm confident in my car. I'm going to be green. I am in control of my situation. You know, those kinds of things are all very important to bring with you when you get up there on the line, because believe me, there is so much going on, it's very easy to lose focus. I've done it many times, and it's taken me more than 15 years of racing to really get good at that. So that's one of those things you can work on up here. Now I know that everyone's racing operation looks a little bit different. I'm trailering my car to the track. I've got a four-wheeler. I've got other things in here that, are useful to me because I've found a need for them, whether it's, getting to the track or being on the track or just being comfortable here. I got toys for the kids. I got other stuff, bug spray, first aid kit, all that kind of stuff. The point is that you're going to have to develop this stuff over time. I can't give you a list and say, this is everything you have to have, because that may not work for you. What works for me may not work for someone else. Keep that in mind, and I promise, as overwhelming as it may seem like it is at times, it's a lot of fun just to get out there, start to experience it, and go racing.